Tony, can you tell us who most impressed you?
Muhammad Ali and George Best by a mile. They had so much charisma and charm, and they were really fantastic personalities. The funny thing was that when he was a lad, George Best was tongue-tied and shy, but in latter life he'd come out with these marvellous anecdotes and quips, and his managers, he used to drive them mad by disappearing. And he used to say, well, yes, I did go missing a lot. Miss Canada, Miss World, Miss Argentina, Miss UK. But meeting Ali and Best also brought me into contact with two very delightfully attractive young women who had their designs on having sex with these two guys. And to tempt them, they used a pair of panties and a nude photograph.
You just give us a little background on these stories. Like you've met some glamorous ladies, of course. Which ones feature in the book?
Well, quite a few really. Linda Gray from Dallas is one of the very attractive ones. There's other people like Patsy Kensit who I interviewed, and Aaron Bow, of course, from Strictly Come Dancing, who actually got up close with when we were dancing together. One who perhaps didn't impress me so much, disappointed me in fact, was Abby Titmus. She was a nice enough person to talk to, but she'd been built up as this really great super sex symbol, and when I met her, well, she didn't do much to turn me on. She sort of was just a girl that was, well, pleasant, but that was it. One who I turned down the chance to meet because I didn't particularly like her was Cheryl Cole and her husband Ashley Cole. Didn't like the way they came across in their public lives and their opinions, and maybe some of the things they did could have been better handled.
Well, of course, they've been in the news just lately, haven't they?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, what is the biggest story you've written?
Biggest story was the Hillsborough football disaster. I interviewed, yes, I interviewed the Liverpool goalkeeper, Bruce Grobbelaar, soon after the Hillsborough tragedy. He had been playing for Liverpool against Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup semi-final. This was back in 1989, and it only lasted 6 minutes. The police let in a lot of Liverpool supporters who arrived late, and they went into the Leppings Road end, and Bruce Grobbelaar was taking this goal kick, and suddenly he heard this fan shout out to him, "Bruce, help us, Bruce, help us, they're killing us." And Grobbelaar told me that he asked the fan, "Who's killing you? Who's killing you?" And the fan said, "Well, our own fans, they're pressing down on us so much, we're being forced and pushed against the fences." And Grobbelaar had to ask the police if they would let fans climb over the fences onto the pitch side. And of course the match was soon called off and 96 people were killed, so that was awful, and Grobbelaar was in a hell of a state when he was telling me this story, which my story appeared as a double-page spread on the Sunday Mirror, and it was, well, the most tragic event I've ever come across.
Yeah, thank you. Can you tell us how you helped to set up Sunday Sport?
Yes, well, I got this job as the head of sport at Sunday Sport, thinking it was a conventional newspaper, particularly as we made Bobby Moore, the former World Cup winning captain, head of, well, made him sports editor under me. But setting it up was quite funny, really, because they had all these ridiculous stories in, like woman pregnant 60 years gives birth to old age pensioner, and all these sexy pictures of girls with giant bosoms, etc. And so what we used to do, the staff, we used to phone up radio programs and the like, or television programs as members of the public, complaining about how terrible Sunday Sport was. And of course, the more people heard complaints about how bad it was. Being human nature, they bought the paper to see what it was all about.
The reverse psychology.
Yeah, reverse psychology.
And going on, can you tell us about some of your assignments?
Yeah, I mean, as a journalist, done all sorts of things. I appeared in stand-up because we wanted to find out what it was like to be a stand-up comedian, so I did a stand-up act in which I told people that I was the first journalist in the family, unlike my father, who'd been a floor stainer. He didn't mean to be, but as he got older he just couldn't help himself. Then I did the dancing with Erin Bow of Strictly Come Dancing, and well, I was one of her failures because I couldn't remember the steps. But when we were doing the picture shoot for the interview I did with her, my wife Heather was there, and I asked Erin if we could pose for some sexy pictures like she did on Strictly, and she said, fine, you can put your hand on my thigh if you like, and she lifted her skirt, and so I said, is it alright to put my hand here? And she was nodding, but when I looked across, Heather was shaking her head and saying no, no, no. But also playing football with Bobby Moore and George Best was a great thing. That was at Sunday Sport when I arranged this charity match. Playing with George Best previously was for a testimonial for a player called Derek Howes at Charlton. And the Charlton manager wrote in the programme afterwards, I'll always remember sports writer Tony Flood in this match. Everywhere Best went, Flood went. The only problem was they were both on the same side. So much in awe of Best was I that I was following him around. So there you are.
And how can we get a copy of your book?
It's going to be available on Amazon, and there should be a special introductory offer from my publisher, My Voice Publishing. You can go to their website, www.mv, M for Mother, V for Victor, pub.co.uk.
Right, well, thank you very much, Mr. Butler.
Thank you very much.